I have managed to make this go horizontal today. So brilliant. We are live. Thanks to everybody who's signed in, who follow along on the live stream tonight. Good to have you with us. Yeah, we are live again. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the video update that I put out on Sunday. It was kind of a bit of an overview of what's been going on over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, if you've been watching the live stream, then you will know kind of where we're up to. And I'm not going to spoil anything because we're obviously going to have another video update this coming Sunday, and so we're gonna crack on with this today. So brilliant. You can see a lot more of the desk today. That's brilliant. You're going to see what I'm working on. Last week we got to this stage where I cut out essentially this big template piece of foam. Oh, I've gone too high. And that covered out the ground cover. Now from there, I've got the first circle, the first level drawn out, and I think I left it there. I don't think I went any further, except for to start drawing out the first level on some foam, and I went away from that quite enthusiastic. And obviously, if you want to see all that, definitely check out the update on Sunday. Now, I got carried away. I didn't cut one level. I cut many levels, and here they are. I'm not even sure if they're all going to fit on camera, but we'll put them on here anyway. How's that? Brilliant. Right. Now, obviously, got a bit of work to do, just lining up where these go and all of that. But generally speaking, that is the structure of Minas Tirith done. And I have to say, it looks a bit wonky on camera. We are going to do a lot of work on this to shape it and to build it up. So this is the starting point. So what we're doing today, well, the first thing we need to do is get the bit that juts out. If I just grab the model here, we'll bring that forward. So this piece here is what I'm going to start working on today. I've basically got the top level here, the courtyard. That's this piece here, and from here I need the bit that juts out and comes down the front. And I think once I've got that in place, we can start to glue bits in the foam down. We can start to get a real sense of the shape. One of the other things I want to do as well is all this bit at the back here. That is going to make up the rock work. So I can use the hot wire cutter as well once it's glued in place to start to shape that and to give it that kind of the angled rock work there as well. So lots to do, and we'll see how much we can get done in the next 56 minutes I've got. And maybe it'll be a lot, maybe it won't be much at all, but you know, thank you for joining me all the same. And if you're watching this after the live stream, watching it some other time, then this will be a little bit of a clue as to what's coming up in Sunday's video. So without further ado, let's get building. So I've worked out that this first section here is, I can't remember how much it is, 47 mil. So I've gone down 47 mil on this foam, just about. Yeah, that's about right there. And then it's coming in 10 mil there. And I might end up scooching this round and putting it against the backboard, because that's what I've been using to stop the foam moving. So yeah, that's about right there. That's about right there. Cool. And these should be 20 mil, and I just need to work out how far it goes down. So that's 36 mil. 36 mil. Brilliant. Right there. So do let me know what you guys have been up to this week. What hobby stuff are you working on? Have you got anything on the workbench tonight while you're watching? I'd be curious to know. Do pop a hello in the chat. It's always good to interact with you guys. So we're coming up 20 from there. So 83 there, perfect. Now I will say this, I have used the wire cutter. This one here, I'm borrowing it from my friend Phil. Obviously I'll plug it in when I'm using it, but having such a bad habit of burning myself on things, thought it might be safer not to have it plugged in at the start. And also I don't need to have the electricity on when I'm not using it. But I used it for the first time, which was really exciting. Didn't realise how easy it was going to be to use it, and I have to say, the bit that took the longest was actually just drawing out the shapes. Once I actually got to the cutting bit, it was really quick and really simple. The trickiest bit, I think, is keeping it sort of square when you're cutting it, because you can easily go at an angle one way or the other. So that was definitely something that I was learning as I was going. Right, where have we got to? So that's the first two, out 10, down the next one, out 20. Next one is this. So that is a whopping 51 mil. 51 mil. Brilliant. And how far down should we be going? So that is 51 plus 37. That makes that 88. Yes, perfect. And then we're going out 30 mil. One of the other cool things that I was doing was using the steel rule as a sort of a guide for the hot wire. So I'd hold that on there and then use that as a guide, and obviously really useful. Right, next one, 20 mil out. So 20 mil here, takes it to there. Perfect. Next job is going down. That's 30 mil. We're going down. Brilliant. Lovely. Cool. So 30 mil for that bit. Oh, this one's actually further out. This one is going to be, is that right? It should only be about 20 mil, but it was sitting a little bit further out than that. So yeah, let's go 20 mil. Lovely. And then last one, 51 again. Let's hope we've got enough space. I think we might have run out. Yes, we have. Rubbish. I thought I'd calculated this. No, I clearly haven't calculated this. What is it they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? I think what I'm going to do is just cut this anyway, and then find a filler wedge bit underneath, and we'll make up the difference with a bit of scrap. Now, the other problem is that it hasn't got to where I need it to be. That's not going to reach there, so we're going to have to take a little bit off first. And of course we are. Right. Stand by. This could get interesting. Right, let's get my fingers out of the way. I'm going to do this with my... Nope. Let's go this way around. I'm going to try to get... Right. Right. We're powered on. Let's see how this goes. Really don't want to burn myself. Let's see. Are we through? Yeah, we're through. Sorry that this is a bit off camera. It's just lovely. Right. Lovely smell. Definitely should have window open when you're doing this because it is not very nice. Not great fumes. Right. So we've got this bit here. We've got that bit there. I've definitely done that at a bit of an angle. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's definitely an angle. So yeah, it's just one of the problems of using these hot wire cars, but not a problem. Not really a problem. Now, I need it to jut out more. How am I going to do this? Oh, I know, because I'm going to cut that bit. Yes, right, okay. I think I remember how I was planning to do this. So what I'm going to do is use the lines that I've drawn to act as a template, and I'm going to go in and then out. Perfect. And we'll use the next one, and we're going to go and it is such a fine wire that you get quite a fine cut, which is really cool. You don't need to leave a bit of space on the cone. Right? Perfect. And then we're getting some cuts. So rather smart. We always do like working smarter, not harder, as we say. Lovely. Let's do this one while we're on the same angle. Lovely. Right. Let's get these going. Now, I'm hoping that this is going to make quite an accurate cut and allow us to do these steps in quite an effective way. Yeah, lovely. We'll get this one here. Apologies, I'm not showing this particularly well on the camera, but just want to get this done. But hopefully you'll see very quickly I'm making a sort of step which will then sit against here. Right, how am I doing this one? Let's just do this exactly the same way. And we will go in this way. Oh, that was a bit of a slip. Cool. Right, let's turn it off. Let's put it on its little stand. which is very handy. In fact, I'm going to unplug it and put it on the stand. Perfect. Right. And it's amazing. I thought you had to give it time to warm up, essentially, but you don't. It just literally goes through it. And the nice bit is the bits you cut, you don't get that bobbly texture. Essentially, it just cauterizes it, from what I can see. Now, that is going to sit like so, perfectly like that. Now, the problem here is, of course, somewhere I have mismeasured, or the pins. Right, so the drawing pins that are holding this the foam together, they are stopping me getting tight to where we need to go. That's okay. And there's a small slither down the bottom, which I think I will use some offcuts of the 3mm foam to fill the gap. So that should work lovely. So the next thing I'm going to do is, with this piece, you might be able to see I have cut the shape of this bit that juts out, because it's not this rectangular piece, it's much more curved. So somehow next I'm going to work out how I'm going to try to make that happen all the way down here. This could be quite interesting, could be quite funny. We're going to give it our best shot. So stand by, make sure you've got a drink, make sure you're laughing, because this is going to get fun. And I feel like, even though I did sort of a 4-minute introduction, we are nearly 15 minutes into actually building, and I feel like we're making pretty good progress, which I can't necessarily say for the other live streams that we've done. So, trying not to burn myself, let's cut. Okay, so that's a little bit there. And how am I going to do this? I suppose I could put the ruler on this and cut that bit off as per plan. That would work, I guess. That's where I have to have absolute faith that I've moved my fingers out of the way. Right. Let's see, what else are we going to do? Right, we're going to cut this bit off here. Let me move my finger because I can see that getting burnt. Just kind of free all this. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much, because I'm going to be putting filler over this anyway. So that will allow me to change the texture and get the shape that I want. Okay, yeah, that's looking good. It's kind of pointed at the front. Kind of liking that. Let's see if we can get a little bit more. Nope, it's like melted off and melted back on again. Yeah, there we go. Right. Yes, right. Lovely. All right, that's not looking too bad. I am getting a little bit concerned that there's very little left to hold on to, so we are properly. Okay. Shaving bits off, it's getting really nice and thin. Brilliant job, but I'm not sure I'm doing this right. But let's have a look at the other side and see how this compares. Yeah, it's a bit fat, so we will. Nerve-wracking stuff, because I'm just really worried I'm about to cut bits off that I need. And the other thing is, because it's a wire, it's really hard to see where the blade's going. So yeah, we're getting there, I think. We're getting there. Okay, it's actually starting to look like what I want as well. So really happy. Right, let's turn that off for a sec. Let's have a little bit of a consolidation before I go completely crazy on cutting away. Brilliant. Everybody's very quiet in the chat again tonight. Obviously, maybe you're not chatty people, or maybe you don't have anything to say. Don't know. But somebody give me a shout out, or if you want a shout out, I can give you a shout out. Just need to hear from you so that I can know who to shout out to. Right. My floor's getting very messy at this point, but the workbench is clean, so, and tidy. Right, next things. What is the next thing to do? I'm a bit nervous about sticking this all down. I think that's going to be okay. And if that's not quite right, we might need to take a little bit out of there to lower it. But we can get there. So I'm not too worried about this bit. The bit I am worried about is the back, because if I stick this all down, how hard is that going to be to get the wire cutter in and do the bits I need? So I need to really think this through. What I am going to do is take off the top layer, and I'm going to take my template, and I'm going to work that roughly, that's halfway, and I'm going to take my trusted Sharpie, and we're going to just draw rough outline at the top here, because this is what I'm going to start cutting to shortly. The other issue is when I start to glue things down, I've got to make sure it's all in the right place. And that is the bit that I'm very nervous about, because things will move ultimately, and they just won't end up where I want them, guaranteed. So, do I stick this all down and hope for the best, or do I stick it to it's like one another? Do I? Don't know. The other bit here is the back of here. I'm going to have a piece here, and then there's going to be a gap. I don't know how far back I'm going to have that building, as it were, and I might need to build up a little bit here, more foam filler, something like that, to make a square shape there. So if I just, I'm mumbling to myself here, but essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw on somewhere that's roughly the size of that building that I'm thinking. Might go a bit bigger, might go a bit smaller, but then there's going to be a gap just behind it where it drops off, according to the model. So if I draw I cut out basically from where I'm going to put this building, so I have to decide how big I want the building. That looks a bit better, I think. Sizable building. So if I go from there and cut away a little bit down the side, and then the bridge is going to go down there somewhere here, I think. Quite a long bridge. It's going to be more than 3 pillars. So do I go further back? That's the question. Do I go for an even bigger building and make this the line? Questions. I'm not even sure what the answers are. At least I know what the question is. Right, so based on all this good fun we're having, I think I'm going to get the glue out next and do some gluing. 3 people watching. Brilliant. Thank you ever so much for your support this evening and tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying the live stream. So far I've cut out the front piece that's going to sit against this, although not 100% like that because we've got some work on it, but the actual basic structure of it is looking fantastic. I'm really pleased actually, and the wire cutter has been revolutionary. So if I'd done this with a knife, this would have been messy, it would have been horrible and unpleasant, all of which I want to avoid. So let's get some of these out of the way and let's start gluing. Let's throw those on the floor and try not to step on them. That's always upsetting. Let's pull this out, and ultimately I need to get this first piece pretty plumb where I want it. All right, let's get the old Mod Podge out. Mod Podge at the ready. I have some water and I have my trusted paintbrush I'm going to be using for this job. Make sure it is flat. And what I've done is I've just pinned this at the ends so that these pieces are staying together. I've not put any pins on the bottom or on the top. So yeah, hopefully this is going to go well. I absolutely hate gluing. I don't know why I've put myself through this, but it's going to take forever. Hopefully the Mod Podge will work really well. Putting this all together, and I'm just gonna. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the outside, as Eminem once said. We're going to go around the outside, and then what we'll do is we'll do some blobs in the middle as well, so that we can get a fairly good amount of glue to grip this to the foam below. It should be fine. I've done this sort of gluing before. Always tends to work out well. Just want it to grip on the outside so that we don't get it coming away. Lovely. Right, next job. After this, put a load in the middle. Now, I probably should use some pins and just pin it to the ground cover, or the base bit that we put down. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that. I've got my pins at the ready, so can do that. Brilliant. Lovely. So what are people working on? Are you Lord of the Rings fans? That's why you're watching? Or are you 2 mil fans? Or are you just people who like terrain? People that are slightly crazy like me that think that super big projects that are quite small are fun. Don't know. Let me know what you're into in the chat. As nobody else is chatting, you basically got free reign. If you want to chat, hang out, if you just want to sit and watch, you're also most welcome to do that. It just means you get to put up with me rambling a little bit more. But hey, that is part of the fun of a live stream, I believe. Right, we are nearly there. Just a little bit more for good luck. And then we are going to wish ourselves luck, and we're going to do this. Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Right, that is my circle. That is the back. Let's put some weight on there. And I said I wasn't going to do it, but I am. Let's just pin that to the base. A couple of strategic places. Lovely. And all being well, this won't move. It'll bond fairly quickly. I'm going to hope. Oh, that did not go in like I wanted it. I'm going to hope that this is going to take, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour to bond. It shouldn't take that long, to be fair. It is just PVA glue, essentially. Right, that doesn't look to be going anywhere. So 1 level down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to go. Oh, the joys of terrain building. The joys, absolutely. Now the next level is quite good because I actually chiseled out a bit with the wire cutter, which I wasn't planning on doing, which was a bit frustrating. So, but this one, rather than having 2 pieces side by side, I had 1 piece here and then a small bit on the front. So yeah, that's why that one's a bit different. It should be, I mean, it's starting to look like a cake, I have to say. This should be 20 mil away, so that's about right. Happy with that. You know what? That looks like center. If needs be, I can fill in gaps with filler, and that'll be fine. So, ready, steady. Let's get gluing again. I have to say the templates that I put together to make sure I knew what the shapes were and what they were gonna where they were gonna sit, really helpful in this project. Really pleased with the way I've gone about it, and the templates are so useful when you've designed what the shapes are going to be on the base itself, because obviously when you start covering over that base, you really do quickly forget and lose what size shapes you were doing, and you end up redesigning it again anyway. So just having those templates has been an absolute lifesaver. And certainly did well for me when I did Helm's Deep previously, and so thought it was only fair that I rolled that out again this time. Lovely. Well, after I finish Minas Tirith, I really probably should get back to doing some proper videos, maybe some battle reports. Haven't done any of those in a while. I did promise a battle report for the Chicago way, and particularly doing some Peaky Blinders games, so I'll have to do that. I am really thinking I should get back to doing some more work on my Crete armies. So that's my Fallschirmjäger army, and eventually get the British out for that, because I haven't even touched the British yet. But with Chain of Command 2 out, this is actually probably a really good time to get some armies for World War II finished and maybe buy the rules and play a game. So that's that's well worth considering as something to do after I've finished Minas Tirith. Some people I know wanted to see a battle report for some Lord of the Rings stuff in 2 mil, so I will need to do some of that. I'm not sure whether I'm going to ask Mark to kind of play a game with me and we'll film it, or whether because I'm not as confident on the rules. Obviously, it's his rules, so he's always going to be more confident than me. But with things like Dead Man's Hand, I'm fairly confident with the rules that I can do a battle report by myself and get the rules right enough that I do them justice. But I'm not 100% confident with Strength and Honor yet, so might need to rethink that. Right, let's get that lined up. That is looking good. Good at the back. Oh, hang on, that's lifting. Why is that lifting? I might actually need to put some weight onto this. Oh, stay together. So let's just get enough pins in this that we can hold the 2 layers together. I guess my main concern is now that it's not holding to the base. We'll just have to see how that goes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's lifting at the front here, which is really frustrating. There's not much way of holding it down other than putting a weight on it. So from one Minas Tirith to the other, let's put some weight on that. I also need it on the back as well. Have I got enough weight to do that? The grip, because that's my main concern, is it doesn't grip, and then it's still, if it doesn't grip, then it will just pull away. In some ways, I don't mind getting the layers glued together and then gluing it somehow to the base at another time, but I need things to stick together, because when I start carving it with the wire cutter, if they're not stuck together properly and start pulling away, it's going to make that a really, really difficult job. But I think we're doing really well. I think there's a really good amount of progress being made, particularly today. We've got, as I say, this first bit that we started doing is actually looking really good. Like the shape of it's got that kind of arrowhead sort of shape, triangular piece, which means when I come to put filler on it, it should maintain that shape really well, and I'll get that really nice texture to it. So that's really encouraging. I think at the top, what I'm going to need to do is just put a small strip of foam that looks like brickwork and comes up to create a wall. The tricky bit will be, and then I can bring kind of fill it up over it a little bit to show that there's this rock work over the wall. I guess the tricky bit will be, do I make the walls a brick pattern? But at 2 mil, that's so small, it's almost not worth doing. It would be so out of proportion anyway. So I'll have a think about that. I might just do the old paint it light grey and then give it a quick dry brush. But yeah, lots of walling is going to go on, but I'm going to use that 3 mil foam that we use on the base and use that to wrap round it. And because of the texture, because of the thinness of the foam, it should be absolutely fine to bend round, and I'll pin it. And as long as this is sticking to the base, then that should give me enough. It's not going to move. And I only really need to go from sort of this point around to the opposite point on the other side. I think the rock work is probably going to be one of the last things I tackle in many ways, because essentially the rock work is built up around all of the walls. So put that all in place and have the rock work come up over it. And the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm really considering dropping the bark altogether, not using bark, and just using filler to create sort of a rock work. So that's kind of the way I'm leaning on this. There's going to be a lot of work with blue foam, creating a lot of the buildings, the towers. I don't know whether I'm not going to get it accurate to this model, but we'll try our best to add enough detail to give it that feel without overdoing it. And there's ramps as well, which we're going to need to put in there as well. How I do those, we'll wait and see. That could be some more of this packing foam. Just use the hot wire cutter, but I mean, it's going to be so small that might be tricky. So wow, we're up to 5 people watching currently, so thank you ever so much. Just to recap where we are at the moment, we have cut out the front section. It's going to go on the front of the Minas Tirith, this piece here. We've cut that out. All of the layers are cut. I'm just sticking the first 2 down. Unfortunately, we're in a little bit of a drying moment where I'm trying to get the bottom layer to stick to this piece of foam on the base that I put in there last week. Just so that people are aware who have tuned in, the progress that I've made over the last week, I will have in a sort of update video coming out on Sunday, the usual time of what time does it come out? 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock on Sunday, and that's UK time. So if you are interested in what I've been up to this week and all the progress I've made, do check that video out. Little bit of a spoiler, I forgot to film a little bit before coming on the live stream this evening, so I was gonna do a quick, like, I'm going on the live stream in a minute and then here's what I've done on the live stream, but I haven't done that, so that won't feature. But yeah, at least you'll be able to say I saw him do that live. So that'd be cool. What else? We've got about 17 minutes. So if you've got any questions or anything, comments, pop them down in the chat. Always good to chat to you guys. It would be really good if somebody could just put something in there so that I know the chat is actually working, because this is the second stream in a row where nobody's put anything in the chat. So if you could just, even if you put a full stop and then hit return so it pops up, that would be amazing. If anybody watching could do that, or just a hi or whatever, that would be super, just so I know the chat's working. And that's not a trick, just to get you to type something. That is genuinely a request for help. Cool. So it's probably not dry yet. Do I risk putting on another layer and gluing those together? I mean, I bet you this one is bonding pretty well to the second level, is probably bonding really well to the first. Obviously, the big concern is the first actually bonding to the deck, as it were. That's the question. That's the big question. Let's start putting some glue on the third level, because at least that way I can get this stuck to the second level and we can make some progress. Well, either the chat isn't working or nobody's helping me this evening. Can somebody between now and the end of the stream, 15 minutes time, just pop something in the chat just so I know it works? Because it might be that I've got the settings wrong. I have been known to get settings wrong before. The fact that I've got this week's in the horizontal position for filming, I feel like that was a big win. I've been fighting that for the last 2 weeks. Didn't achieve it. I think I might have achieved it on week 3, third time lucky. So, and again, you know, please pop in the comments if you're watching this after the live stream and you think this is a waste of time. That I'm not, you know, you don't want to see live streams, you don't want to watch them. Do please pop. You think that this is a good thing, and you've been enjoying watching the progress over the weeks, then, you know, that'd be really good to hear as well. It all helps with the engagement and encourage me to do more live streams or just more content. I think that's probably the key. So what's coming up on the weekend? Well, other than the video, I am actually away reenacting again, so I'll be doing some more living history with my reenactment group, who, if anybody's interested, we have a Facebook page, and we are called L Detachment Living History Group, or LHG for short. So if you're interested in living history, reenactment, that sort of thing, you want to check out, we've got quite a good lot of pictures from the other weekend I was away. Not last weekend, but the weekend before that I was away. And we had a really good weekend. It was a lot of fun. Got to go in a Jeep for the first time in years. That was fun. Even better sort of with the, it was a really dry weekend in many respects. The ground was really dry, so we got a lot of dust kicking up, which meant when we had our goggles and chamois and dust cloths over our faces, it just really looked cool, and there's some great photos that came out of it, and a lot of really good photographers out there, amateurs and I guess semi-professionals maybe, but they just took some fantastic pictures, and we've shared them up on the Facebook group. So, you know, if you're modeling World War II desert and you want some pictures to work out paint color schemes or what they might look like, and you want to know what your figures are going to look like or your Jeeps, then do check us out, because, you know, it can be quite useful for wargaming, even if you are not into the living history bit. Or if you're, I guess if you're into history in general, you might also enjoy it. So, you know, do check it out. We would very much appreciate your support, and anybody who wants to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, again, would really appreciate the support. So do just give us a follow or a like. We'd really appreciate that. So that's that. Lovely. I really should check whether my friend Connor, who is in the group and also does figure painting for, No Man's Land. Oh, I can't even say it now. No Man's Land Studios. So if you've seen them on Facebook, my friend Connor paints for them, and he's actually in my reenactment group. So definitely check out No Man's Land Studios, particularly if you want stuff painted. They are a very cool team. Right, let's get the weights off for a second. Don't want to destroy that live on camera because Phil will see. Let's take this one out because I don't want to lose that. And let's pop this one on, ready for positioning. Here we go. I think that is about where we want it. Does it look center? Does it look center? Cool. Right, let's pin it. And then at least we're in a good position to get this. Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take. Obviously, I'll leave it overnight because I'm not going to do anything with it after the live stream tonight. But we'll just put some weight on it. We'll hope for the best, and then we'll come back I'm not sure when I'll be back. Maybe I might get back to this on Friday, although I do have to pack to go away. So, and I've got to do shopping, and I've got to get my car back from the garage. So, lots to do on Friday, but I might get a chance to get back and just, yeah, I'm still worried about that bottom level, and I don't know whether that's just because it's actually warped. The base is warped ever so slightly, and that means that when it comes to it being a flat surface for a flat surface to then bond to, you've got gaps, and that might be causing some issues. So, not 100% sure, but we'll. The other thing I haven't done, which is really stupid of me, is the ones that have got two pieces, like this top level, I've not actually glued them together. I've only pinned them in place, and then I've used that to stick it down. I've just realised that. Hopefully, that won't be an issue. Oh, that is taking some risk. That is definitely taking some risk. Right, we've got 9 minutes. Let's go for another level. Let's see if we can get a level 4 glued down. Because if we can, that would be great. And they are getting smaller, so it's actually quicker to glue, put the glue on, which is really handy. And once the glue has, once I've got it on, and we can just stick it down and hope for the best, pin it. And to be fair, the pinning will be really useful because we will, that will just help keep everything together tonight. And then I can reassess in the morning or tomorrow afternoon, whenever I next get an opportunity to come up here. But it will just give me that opportunity to reassess and see what we can do, what we need to do. Right, let's get this glue down in place. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, I probably should unpin it and put some glue in between, but I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be a bit lazy, and I'm going to hope for the best. I'm going to hope that the glue and put it in place and then pinning it will just be enough to put everything solid, and that putting glue in between the pieces isn't necessary. That's what I'm going to hope for. We'll see how it goes. Again, hope for the best. Cool. Right. This one does look a little bit like an aeroplane. Not gonna lie. Lovely, 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 lovely. I am going to stick some glue actually along that crease and hope that some of it seeps in. Lovely. Nearly there, nearly there. Ah, the other thing. Yeah. Cool. Right. Let's get this one in place. Pull this forward. Right. I think we are good there. And let's do some pinning. Fun bit's going around at the end and pulling out all the pins. And again, any of the damage to the foam now is not a problem, because we're going to be either putting walls, which will be more foam over the top on the outside of it, or we will be doing filler for the rock work. So I can kind of be a little bit rough with this. I can abuse it a little bit. Just try not to stab myself. And this is feeling fairly together and sturdy, which means that hopefully the glue is drying and making it a unit. I'm still concerned about the back. I think that's because of the bowing of the base. There's nothing I can do about that at this point. It's really light as well, though. I mean, I've just picked that up. I mean, it's getting some weight, but it is super light. I mean, it is built just foam, so not a surprise. But right, 4 minutes. I've got 2 layers left. Do I call that good, or do I go for it? Do I go for it? If I get it done now, it dries tonight, and we're in a good place for doing a bit more work. Let's do it. Let's try for win. Does mean I might go over the 9 o'clock target that I set myself, but that is only something I set myself. Live stream is as long as we need it to be, and if you're going to stick with me, then I'm going to keep working. My eyes aren't shut yet, so I haven't fallen asleep, so we must be doing all right. And who knows, I might go and play some FIFA after this. That's depending on what the wife's doing. If she's reading, it is FIFA time. If she's not reading, she's watching TV, then yeah, I'll just chill out, have a chat with her, or let her watch and just play on my phone, or read books, the internet, anything like that. It's always good fun. Just out of interest, of those people who are watching and haven't put anything in the chat yet, here's one more chance to something to put in the chat if you're unsure. Do you guys watch other live streams for wargaming specifically? Because it's not something that I often see wargaming content creators doing. I think they tend to do videos more than a live stream. So I would be really curious to know. I used to do some live stream games with Martin on the Contact Front Facebook page. That used to be something we did to get people involved, and actually that was quite good. We did get people watching, people commenting, asking questions about the game, the rules. So might be worth seeing if Martin's around again. I know he's very busy these days, but might be worth seeing if he's around to do some more Contact Front live stream games. And of course, it was quite good because I used to play against Martin, so he would tell me what to do, and I'd move the piece. Really, really good fun, actually. I did enjoy those games we used to play, and I mean, it's a couple of hours worth, and it's it does take time, but it is good fun. It's nice to sort of play a game, really, to be quite honest. Don't always get the time these days. We are flying now. It's 9 o'clock, but we are so close to getting the last level on that I'm going to push on and say, let's just do it. So just pin this level on. once we've got this one pinned in, we'll do the last one and we'll call that a night, and then it'll be down to you guys to tune in on Sunday night to see how much further I got this week. Did I get more carvings done? Did I get more? Did I get the walls done? What else did I get done? That will be the question you need to tune in for on Sunday night to see the update. Right, last level. Why did I put the glue on there? Don't know. Sorry. I can tell it's getting late. Oh, we've got a thumbs up, and we've got 3 people still bravely and courageously watching on for the last level. So thank you to those people. You are all legends and you're all stars, and we are cracking on anyway. So let's get this last one done. Once I've got this done, we will call it that for the night. But it's been another really enjoyable session with you guys. Obviously you need to work on your engagement, but that's fine. We can live with that. It's I have to say, it's been really good for me to do the live stream, and because it's encouraged me to actually do the hobby, like not just put it off and find excuses. It's meant each week, right, Wednesday night, I've got to log on, I've got to set up the camera, I've got to actually do some hobby, and I've really enjoyed doing it, and I'm enjoying doing this project, which I was dreading a little bit, but I have to say I'm really enjoying it. So well done. Thank you for supporting me and for encouraging me and holding me to account. I absolutely needed that. Right. I'm not sure this is going to work quite because indents and all that, so that's not going to touch, but main bit should touch, and that will massively help. It is rough, it is ready, and we love it. Right, last bit. Hopefully there's enough glue there that will absolutely hold. Right, put that in there, put the lid on. Let's bring it to the forefront. Let's get this on, and I need to remember this one is going closer to the front. Perfect. Happy with that. Let's just do a quick pre-measure, but yeah, massively off. We might be filling that with other bits. We might be cutting bits out. We will make it work. Because that's one of the great things about hobby terrain making is sometimes it just doesn't go to plan, and you just have to make it work. Bit of filler here, bit of extra foam there. Ow, that's my finger. I just stabbed it. But yeah, I mean, Helm's Deep, let's be honest, that definitely had moments where that didn't go to plan. Oh, that was quite the project. I guarantee something about this project's not going to go right. But that's okay, because we're having fun. Right. Ladies and gents, we have made it. That is Minas Tirith as it stands. Let me turn that for you guys so you can see it in its glory. We have the levels. We have the rockwork piece that's going to go at the front. That's going to stick out there a little bit. We will make that fit much better. Trust me. The pins are what's keeping most of the problem at the moment. Once we've sorted that, we shouldn't have too much of a problem. The back rockwork is ready to start. using the wonderful and very useful wire cutter, and that will come in really handy. It's going to test my newfound skills using it. But I think, oh, hello, Robin Rose. Looking great. Cool. Well, thank you ever so much for your comment, and thank you. You've saved me from another live stream without anybody using the chat. So really appreciate that, Rob and Rose. Really appreciate the support. Hopefully, I mean, certainly from the angle that I'm seeing on my screen that I can see, this is starting to take shape. It's starting to look like this Minas Tirith here. And if I just put them like that, that should hopefully give you an idea of what we're going for. And I think once I've shaped the rock work at the back to slope, but also to go back and to have a gap at the back, I really do think this is going to do the job, just as I'm hoping. So really pleased with that. Glad I've pushed on this week and really put a lot of time in to make these levels ready for tonight so that we could stick them down. This front piece, it was a real not sure how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do it, and it's worked. Yeah, if you want to see how this ends up at the end of this week, check out Sunday's video, 6 o'clock British time, UK time, GMT, and check out the week's video update. And thanks again to everybody. You've been absolute stars, a lot of you, and I will be back next Wednesday. Obviously Sunday's video, I've said that too many times now, but next Wednesday I'll be back for the next live stream, and we'll just go for it. We are getting on. It may not be walls next week, next Wednesday. So if you want to see how I'm going to do the walls, check out next Wednesday's live stream, and bring some comments. We want more comments in the chat. Anyway, that's going to be it. I've rambled on long enough. Have a great evening, guys, and I will see you next Wednesday for the live stream, and check out the video on Sunday at 6 p.m. UK time. Until then, take care, stay safe. We'll see you soon.